You set the alarm Sunday night before the weekend is even really over. The phone goes back on the nightstand, the same nightstand it was sitting on Friday. You spent 2 days recovering from the week before, just so you could go back and do it again. No real break, no real rest, just the gap between 2 work weeks. So here's the question nobody seems to ask. Before jobs existed, before schedules, before bosses, before the 40-hour work week, what did humans actually do all day? The short answer is, they didn't work like you do. The long answer changes everything. Today, more than 75% of workers globally report feeling burned out. That number has risen every year since 2019. We usually explain this by imagining ancient life as brutal, like survival was non-stop suffering. Every hour spent hunting, running, starving, no shelter, no food, constant danger. But let's start with what we actually know. In 1963, an anthropologist named Richard B. Lee arrived in the northern Kalahari Desert. He wasn't there for a few weeks. He lived among the Jew hoansi, a hunter-gatherer people also known as the Kungsan, and tracked their days with obsessive precision. Every hour, every task, every period of rest. Picture red sand. A small fire already burned down to coals by midday. A man lying flat beneath the shade of a thorn tree at 11 in the morning, not sick, not injured, just done. The foraging was finished. There was nothing left to do. Lee counted every hour of subsistence work those people performed. The number came back at 12 to 19 hours per week. Not per day, per week. Marshall Solins, an anthropologist at the University of Chicago, took Lee's data to a landmark 1966 symposium called Man the Hunter and built an argument that shook the entire field. He called hunter-gatherers the original Affluent Society, not because they had more, because they wanted less. That was the mechanism. Desire limitation. Hunter-gatherers did not accumulate endlessly. They consumed what was needed in the present and left the rest. No storage meant no anxiety about protecting a surplus. No surplus meant no need for hierarchy to defend it. No hierarchy meant no class of people whose entire purpose was laboring for another class. Food was shared immediately across the group. No one hoarded. No one starved alone. According to Solins' 1966 paper presented at the Man the Hunter Symposium, hunter-gatherers had more leisure time than any farming or industrial society that came after them, not despite their simple tools, because of how they defined enough. Enough. That was the entire system. But here's the part nobody talks about. The agricultural revolution, which began roughly 10,000 years ago, did not free humans from hard labor. It multiplied it. Farming demanded more hours, not fewer. It created food surplus, which created ownership, which created the need to defend ownership, which created hierarchy, which eventually created the idea of an entire class of people existing to work for another class. And when you look at what farming did to the human body over generations, shorter frames, worn teeth, joints damaged by repetitive labor, the story it tells is not one of liberation. The bodies got smaller, the teeth got worse, the hours got longer, and somehow we called it progress. So where does that leave you? The 42-hour workweek you live inside is not natural. It is not biological. It is a 10,000-year-old agricultural inheritance, dressed up in office lighting and calendar invites. Your Sunday dread, your alarm, your inbox, those are the field and the harvest. They just don't look like it anymore. What we lost is harder to name. Unstructured time. Communal rest. Movement woven naturally into life instead of scheduled around it. Hours that belong to no one. The burnout you feel is not necessarily a personal failure. It may simply be your body recognizing a schedule it was never designed to carry. We spent 300,000 years as a species knowing how to rest. We spent 10,000 years building systems that made rest feel like a reward instead of a right. Now we call the exhaustion normal and wonder why nothing ever feels like enough. You were never built to live like this. Ancient humans owned their time completely, not their employer, not a schedule someone else designed. When enough was done, the hours belonged to them. That ownership was not a luxury. It was the default state of being human for hundreds of thousands of years. What you call free time today is rationed out in 2-day increments. You are given just enough recovery to continue the cycle. Ancient humans did not spend their lives recovering from work. They simply lived. And work was only a small part of that. Comment below with the thing that surprised you most about ancient human life. Subscribe for more, hit like, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.